Hello and thank you for watching this help video. In this video, I'm going to explain how to find the factored form to this polynomial, identify the zeros, and the respective multiplicity. Now, because we have a trinomial, three terms, normal practice is to break this apart into two equal parts, especially since this is an even number. So we could break this to x to the third power and x to the third power. But unfortunately, that only works if this value here, the degree in the middle term, is half of whatever this number is, and this right here is a constant. So in other words, we have x to the 0 power. Since we don't have that, we can't break this apart using that standard technique. So what we're going to do instead, notice that every single term has an x value, and they all have at least a multiplicity of, a factor of x to the fourth power. So if I factor out that common factor of x to the fourth power, I end up with x to the second power, positive 18x to the first power, and then plus 81, the constant value of 81. And now, by taking out that x to the fourth, now I have my trinomial that satisfies the condition that I can break it up again using the standard practice, because this x to the second, this is half of that value, 1, and I have a constant at the very end. So let's factor that in the parentheses. Let's factor this right here using our standard technique. So we have x and x. Since the middle sign is positive, that means that this factor is going to be positive. And since a positive times a positive is positive, it means that the second factor is going to add another value to that x. Now let's look at the factors of 81. So 1 times 81, 3 times 27, and then 9 times 9 are the set of factors of 81. And since we want to add up, because the signs are the same, to get this positive 18, we're going to use 9 and 9. So here is the factored form to this trinomial. It's x to the fourth power, not to the second, it should be a 4, times x plus 9 to the second power. Now, since we have those factors, we can identify now what the zeros are. We're going to cross the x-axis at 0 and at negative 9. And let's now write what the respective multiplicities are. X equals to 0 a total of 4 times, because this factor of x to the fourth power means x times x times x times x. So if I'm going to have this equal to 0, this equals to 0 by having x equal to 0 a total of 4 times. And now if x plus 9 is going to equal to 0, that means that x would have to equal to negative 9. And how many times is that going to happen? Well, it's going to happen 2 times, since I have x plus 9 raised to the second power. So x plus 9 times another x plus 9. And I want to find out what's going to make this equal to 0, like I mentioned. So that would mean that x would have to equal to negative 9 one time and a second time. So the multiplicity is 2. And there you have your factor form to this trinomial. The zeros are x-intercepts and their respective multiplicities. I hope this video was helpful, and I appreciate you watching.